So this is the official part 2 video of cleaning out my closet. I'm making sourdough. Found Jackie's recipe on TikTok, and honestly, yeah, it's been the best one I've had. I hate normal sourdough because I feel like the crust is just too hard. So I think I actually doubled this recipe because I was cleaning out the closet. So we measured out our warm water, added that in our starter, mixed it up real well, measured out our honey because it was crystallizing. I put it in the microwave to melt it a little bit, added that in there. I didn't add the avocado oil in this step just because I forgot about it, so I'll add it after I add the flour and the salt. And that's all you really need. It's simple ingredients and it's very basic. So I mix this well until it's well combined. And normally you do like 3 rounds of stretch and folds with 30 minutes in between. Who got that kind of time? Because I don't. So basically what I did is I mixed it together. I added the dough hooks on my hand mixer, and I did that for about 10 to 15 minutes, probably closer to 15 minutes. And because I had something to do that day, I covered it and put it in the fridge. Normally after you knead it or whatever, or stretch and fold, you put it on the counter, let it bulk ferment. I don't like the super sour taste of sourdough. Like, I like a subtle taste, but I'm glad I found this recipe so when I do like sweet dough, it's not super sour and it's the flavors be competing too much for me. So yeah, I still mixing, still kneading, but the gluten formed really pretty. It was nice. And I use bread flour. This calls for bread flour, but for the Dollar Tree version, I'm gonna try all-purpose flour. So because I didn't have any Baker's Joy, I used butter and flour as my Baker's Joy. So this is gonna be our regular sandwich loaf. So I spread it out. And we're gonna do it a trifold, hot dog, or the long way. And then we're gonna roll it up real nice, real pretty. And basically I just put it in the pan after that. And I kind of squished it down in the pan to make it fit. I probably didn't need to do that because it's gonna be proofing, but I just wanted to make sure. I just want to make sure it fit. That's really it. So the next dough is our cheddar bacon and jalapeno loaf or rolls. Again, I had a muffin tin because I realized I didn't have another loaf pan. So what I should have did the ball separately and then add the inclusions, but I didn't. So this is what we got. So basically, I rolled it out flat, similar to the sandwich loaf. And I actually got my inclusions like the cheese and the jalapenos from Dollar Tree. You can also get the bacon from Dollar Tree. So it's both a Dollar Tree and a cleaning out my closet video. But this is more so focused on cleaning out my closet. So we added that, we flattened it out. Again, similar to cinnamon rolls or whatever, add your inclusions, close it up. I did the trifold again and then rolled it. Then we added more of the inclusions and then we rolled it up some more. Due to me having to pinch and fold and twist it, unfortunately, some of the jalapenos and bacon and the cheese are on the outside and not the inside like I wanted it. But it's okay because who doesn't love a good crispy cheese? I know I do. But it didn't really affect the taste of the bread too much, of course. But yeah, just for next time, make sure you got the right pans. And if not, pivot accordingly in order to not make too many mistakes. So in normal sourdough, after you knead it, you let it on the counter, let it bulk fermentate, and then you shape it and then put it in the fridge for a day, and then you bake it. That's 2-3 days, along with the 2-3 days that you need to take your sourdough starter out the fridge and let it activate. I don't have that many days or that much patience to make sourdough. So yeah, at any point you can stop and put it in the fridge. So you can do like I did, and immediately after you knead it, put it in the fridge. or you can add your inclusions and then put it in the fridge. And that's if you're on a time crunch. If you want to make traditional sourdough, you can do that. However, after I put it in the fridge, after the kneading, I did let it come up to room temperature before I did any more work with it. So let it set out for maybe 30 minutes to an hour. Then I did all my things. So this next dough is rosemary and thyme. And I just used the herbs. You can use fresh or you can use dry. And of course, with dry, you don't need as much. But I think for that one, if I'm making a single batch instead of a 3 batch or double batch like this, I'm going to put the rosemary and thyme either when I'm kneading the dough or put it in the dry goods so it can get more of that rosemary and thyme flavor throughout. Because unfortunately, the one I made had little pockets of rosemary and thyme. And I didn't too much like that. Like, who just likes pockets of herbs? No one. But just like the previous 2 loaves, I spread it out flat like a rectangle, added my inclusions, sprinkled them in there, and then I did my trifold and I rolled it up. And then before I rolled it up, I add more herbs. I pinched it separated because I had to put it in a muffin tin. And then I put them in the oven with the oven light on. Just the oven light, no, nothing else. And that was warm enough to proof it, similar to how I did the Greek yogurt. So I let that sit in there for about an hour or whenever it doubled in size. And then, according to the recipe video, I put the oven on 400, put a lightly oiled aluminum foil over it, and let it cook for about 35 minutes. Took the foil off, reduced the temp to 375, and let that bake for another 15 minutes or until it was golden brown or the internal temp was 200 degrees. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoy the rest of the video. And at the end, you'll hear the great crunch of the sourdough, which it's harder than normal soft bread, but it's not as hard as normal sourdough. And it was great, and I loved it, and the family loved it. And I ate it with my meals. I ate the rosemary and thyme sourdough with the chicken noodle soup I made in previous videos y'all saw. But thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.